What's up, guys? My name is Jahaya, and welcome to the first official episode of Let's Have This Hard Conversation. I decided to name it this because I felt like a lot of people dodge the hard questions. And so here, we about to talk about the tea. So you can't run from this. And if you decide to click off, maybe you're just not there yet. But here, we're adults, and we're going to talk about all things sex, money, religion, relationships, all things, everything. Okay? We don't hide over here, and we going to talk about it because it needs to be talked about, and it's not taboo to talk about things that we need to talk about because we need to talk about it. Okay? You can't talk about it with your mama. You come over here and talk about it with me. Okay? Anyway, so today's episode, I'm just going to allow you guys to get to know me. My name is Jahaya. I am 23 years old, and let me tell you, I don't know everything, but I know some things. And things that I don't know, I do not hesitate to ask people because you need to be an asker. Okay, you need to be a person who question things, question ideologies, because to me, it shows how intelligent you are when you're able to really ask those hard questions. Like I'm going to ask, okay? I'm going to ask, especially if I don't know what it is or what's going on. I'm going to definitely be an asker. I'm going to definitely be a curious person. And anybody who is intelligent kind of knows that you don't know everything. You don't know everything, and there's somebody who can always teach you something, which is why I love having these hard conversations because it allows you to really it changes your perspective, number one, but it also allows you to learn something new, which is also so great. So, yeah. So, yeah, my name is Jahaya. I'm 23 years old, and this is my podcast, boo. Welcome. For the first episode, we are talking about relationships. I think we need to talk about it because I'm tired of seeing every single man with podcast equipment talking about stuff and stuff and stuff and stuff. It's very irritating to see people get on podcasts and then start talking about relationships and talking about things that really doesn't have any significance and it's to me making people think that social media is reality. Babe, that's not real. I tell people all the time, I can't believe nothing on social media because to me, it's not real. People put their best on social media. They're not putting the horrible things in on social media. So you never really know what people are going through because people are using social media to kind of put forth the positive things. They're never telling you the realness of life and the realness of their situation because they don't want to be talked about. They don't want that to be put at the center, at the forefront of everything that they're doing, right? They don't want all the scandals and all the things, right? Which I completely understand, but you can't believe what social media is telling you because it's all a lie. It's all a lie. They might be they giving you snippets of good moments, but let me tell you the truth, there are bad moments as well. And when you think about that, you wouldn't be jealous. Why you be jealous of anybody's life when you don't know what goes on behind closed doors? And maybe them posting on social media is them trying to make the best of their actual situation. They're like, man, I'm in a tough situation or a tough spot, but let me make the best of it and take this picture and post it on social media, right? Sometimes people post on social media to kind of brag to their friends and brag to whoever they're trying to impress to basically show them that they're living a life that they're not. Which is why, again, you never get jealous of anybody. When you realize that everybody is going through something, everybody's struggling, everybody's going through a hard time, it might not be equivalent to your hard time, but it's a hard time period. And a hard time is going to be a hard time no matter how hard you think the hard time is. It's going to always be a hard time. And so when you understand that, you really don't get jealous. You really don't idolize. You really don't try to compare and contrast because you know that they're not telling the whole story. They're never going to tell the whole story. You will never know the full story ever. So idolizing anybody's life is ridiculous. That even goes for the Kai Sinets. That goes for the Duke Dennises, and that goes for the Yondas in the world. You don't know what they're going through behind closed doors, so you do not idolize a life that you do not have. You do not know what they got to sacrifice in order to get to that point. And I tell people this all the time. Are you willing to sacrifice to get what they have? Because I'm not. I don't know what you got to do, but I don't think it's worth it. That's just hilarious. But for real, people don't be thinking like everything takes a sacrifice. You have to sacrifice for things. Ain't nothing free. Who told you that life was free 99? In order to get anything, you got to sacrifice for it. That goes for relationship. That goes for kids. That goes for job. That goes for being unemployed. That goes for having a vehicle, for not having a vehicle. I mean, wearing clothes and not wearing clothes. All of this stuff has sacrificial things that you have to do in order to maintain or obtain it. So ask yourself the question: am I willing to sacrifice in order to get that thing? If the answer is hell no, then don't do it. Because you really gonna have to sacrifice for it, you know? You hear about all these celebrities. Most of these people, they sleeping in their car, living in their car. Um, you don't know what they did behind closed doors in order to get to that level of success. So idolizing them is ridiculous. That's why I tell people, don't do it. Be yourself and, love who you are. And you're probably going to be successful if you just be yourself, be authentically who you are, and then everything else is going to be added on to you. That's what I say. Oh, and also the Lord. We never want to leave God out of the equation ever. But yeah. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about my journey as an adult human being in the United States. um, I had a very interesting journey growing up. I had a lot of siblings, which is kind of fun, but also kind of irritating because you fighting with these people, you hanging with these people, you learning how to coexist. But also, I feel like I was kind of like a middle child, if that makes sense. So I got a chance to experience my parents being super strict and being super laid back. It was a perfect combination because I learned how to exist in the world both ways, right? So what that would look like is like I'm able to get stuff done, and then also learning how to and when to rest, right? Because both of those things are absolutely important, and both of those things really play a big part in learning when to move, how to move, when is essential to move, and why should you be moving, right? And I think that really allowed me to learn when to move. Like I feel like that balance of being able to cultivate those relationships and then also being able to um know when to leave those relationships and knowing when to move forward and move on from a place, a person, or a thing. I think my childhood played a big part in that because I don't think I would have been able to navigate the world the way that I do if I didn't have both of those experiences to really play that big part in my life. And so I think my best quality is knowing when to move. Like knowing when my time is up in a situation or a place or an environment, I'm able to move and not, you know, make it a personal problem or a personal issue. I can just be like, it's so sad. Maybe cry a couple of tears and then move on. And then being able to move on in that situation and be like, okay, this is the end of this, whatever it is. But yeah, I was the middle child, grew up with five brothers, two sisters, a lot of siblings. And I genuinely loved having siblings. Like, I love having siblings. I don't know about anybody else, but I love having people around me. Um, I love having family around me, matter of fact. Like I do love having family around me, and I have this serving mentality. I don't know where it comes from, but I have this serving mentality that I carry around with me when it comes to the people that I love. Like this is I don't carry this servant mentality with everybody. So a lot of people like, oh Jahaya, you selfish. You right. I am. I'm not about to hesitate and lie to you. I am selfish, especially when it comes to strangers and people who are trying to benefit off of me. Maybe I didn't offer my services to you and you will feel entitled to my services. Absolutely not, right? So yeah, having this servant mentality, wanting to help people, desiring to help people, trying to help people on a daily basis, but also knowing how to create those boundaries and set those boundaries and be stern and be sure and be content and consistent, matter of fact, with the things that I say. And that's why I'm very cautious of the things that I say as well, is because like you have to think about what you're going to say. And so, me being so quiet and taking a pause whenever I speak is very essential because one thing I don't want to do is say something and having to stand on that because if I say it, I got to stand on that. You know what I'm saying? And I also do believe words are powerful. Like what you say is very, 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 you have to be very cautious of it because your words do hold power. The Bible talks about this a lot. And so you have to just like really be cautious of the things that you're going to say, why you're saying it, and is it essential for the circumstance or the situation that you're in currently? Because you do not do not want to say something that you cannot take back. And so you got to be very aware of what situation you in at that time. But yeah, mm, I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode. I hope you got a little gem or something out of here. It's my first official episode, and so I'm so excited to present this to the world, to present this to everybody, because I've never done this before. So very, very, very interesting. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if y'all did, make sure you guys subscribe, follow, whatever. Um and I hope you guys are ready for the next episode. It's your girl Jahaya. Let's have this hard conversation is out.